Coast hottest music, Hot 91.1 with Milky, and Just the Way You Are, 25 to 5, and we're catching up with the magnificent Veronica's in the studio today. Hello, Jess and Lisa.
Hi.
Wow, you've been back in the country now for what?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Couple weeks.
And we get a visit from you here on the Sunshine Coast, which is really exciting. Did you check out Australia Zoo while you're here? Because you guys are like full ambassadors for them, aren't you?
We are.
We haven't had a chance to get up there yet, but we have plans to maybe next weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Now we have got a studio party going on for you guys today. So,
Right.
hello, studio party! They heard you were coming in today, and we have just been inundated with phone calls and things of people wanting to come in and meet you and say hi. And we're like, yeah, sure, no worries. We won't run it by them. We'll just get them in here.
Come on by the station.
Yeah,
Come on
awesome.
down.
Everyone in town. Okay, we just said that, didn't we?
Love parties.
Oops. Of course, you got the brand new single out. We're here to talk a bit about that. But we've got some studio questions as well. We put it up on Facebook today as well. And you guys you were the second biggest thing on Facebook today. iPhone 5. They put a picture
iPhone
up.
5.
I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever.
So I might start with a question from our Facebook. And it's a bit weird.
Okay.
Okay, so
We like bit weird in general.
Bit weird,
People, music.
Yeah.
We probably, we've been asked a lot of different questions in our sort of career span, so.
all right. Have you ever been asked, do you like cheese?
Oh, no. We haven't been asked
Creativity
No?
that.
in that question.
That's a
just
new one.
Really
Astounds
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
we do
okay.
like cheese.
You like cheese?
Yeah, it's okay.
I like blue cheese. I like cheese plates. I like cheese puffs.
Yeah, it all works
Yeah.
for me.
Is that a twin thing? You guys like answering for each other there too? Because you're like, we like cheese. We like this. We like...
We say we a lot.
Yeah.
Even if I'm doing an interview by myself or having a conversation just with a friend alone and they're asking a question.
You go, we.
To me, I say we. I answer
The
with
best is when one of us just meets someone who doesn't know anything about us for the first time and the other twin isn't around, but you refer to yourself as we,
Yeah.
and they just think you're crazy.
Because you guys haven't been hanging out for the last 5 years a lot, have you? You've been doing your separate thing, but do you see a lot of each other still, or you...
Oh, I
Oh,
mean,
no,
well,
we have.
we toured up until around 2010. So we were touring basically the rest of the world other than Australia. And then the last 2 years, we took a couple of months off to spend some time apart and just basically get re-inspired and all that kind of thing. And then the last 2 years, we've been in the studio together. So
Because that's a bit how it works. You spend most of your life touring, isn't it? You release a song here in Australia, and then you've got to release it in America.
that's
and
right.
then-
the
yeah.
UK,
America,
and then
UK,
around
Asia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've been pretty busy, even though everyone else thinks we've probably fallen off the face of the
Yeah.
earth. We've just sort of been touring around.
Must be exciting too, because you got new stuff, which is always exciting for an artist. They don't have to go back to the old stuff all the time. You got the brand new stuff, the new album coming out, which is Life on Mars. Is that David Bowie inspired?
Oh, David Bowie inspires life, I think.
Yeah.
So absolutely. But there's a lot of symbolism that comes into that title for us. Definitely feeling like foreigners in a different place and feeling detached somewhat from reality. It's all symbolic of that.
Yeah. Well, I've got some questions now from our younger members of the audience today, Macy and Mika. Who's going to ask the first question? Mika is? Okay, Mika puts her hand up. That's great radio, Mika. Thank you. Mika, what's your question?
Where do you live?
Where do we live? My address is
Crazy stalker kids, look out. They're those kids they warn you about in horror movies.
right. No, we've mainly been living over in America in Los Angeles for the last 6 years, but we both have homes in Brisbane, so we still call Australia home.
Oh, that's magnificent.
Back and forth.
There's a song in that, I reckon.
Yeah, right.
And Macy, you want to ask a question?
When's your next concert?
Oh,
That is a great question, my beautiful. We're hopefully going to do some shows around really soon in the next couple of weeks, just some acoustic stuff. But as far as a world tour, we're going to start early next year.
awesome.
Yeah.
So early next year, we can expect to see a world tour.
Yes.
Actually, they're asking on Facebook too, when are you doing a live version of Lolita?
That'll probably be in the next few weeks.
Mhm.
Yeah, if they follow us on Facebook, we'll be posting any sort of appearances up on that and Twitter as well. So
Cool. And the film clip due out?
it's
In
going to
a
be out in a week.
Wow,
We get
that's
to
exciting.
hopefully see the rough cut of that today.
Wow.
So we're very excited.
Well, we'll get more of that Lolita for you real soon, but let's go back in time a little. This is the Veronica's Forever at Hot 91.1. Did you just do cringy face?
No, I was happy face. I haven't heard this song in a little while.
We've got the Veronicas in the studio. Bit of a studio party happening at the moment. Hello, studio party! the most people I've ever had in the studio. In fact, it could possibly be the most people I've ever had listening to my show. But we won't go there. We've been asking some questions off Facebook today as well, and the studio audience has been asking some. You guys have got a lot of listeners or fans in Mexico because they're all
South
posting
America.
on our Facebook page. Yeah.
We do. They're very passionate. And even when we weren't doing much, obviously because we were in the studio and we weren't releasing any new music, they were still, tweeting us and Facebooking us every
Yeah.
single day, just showing us love and support. So, yeah, we have a lot of love down there.
Yeah, it's
We're
all,
very
Dora the Explorer just posted. She said, "Hola."
Hola,
Hola, Dora. You guys were at the Eki yesterday.
Yes, we were.
How was that? On
Great.
some rides?
Oh, yeah, we went on some rides. We had some strawberry ice cream. Elise got in a fight with a carny.
You didn't get in a fight with a carny.
Yeah, she threw down with a carny.
What did you do? Be afraid. Small hands. Smells of cabbage.
See, I know. I'm only little, but I'll tell you, I'm feisty because this woman she basically sold it as though we could all go on the ride together. It was a haunted one, like one of those haunted cart things.
Yeah.
And so she said that we could all go on together, and then when we walked up, the guy was like, no, you can't. And one of us would have had to go alone, and we were like, who's going to go alone on a haunted castle? No one.
No one's going to do
No one's
that.
ever down for that.
No.
So we went back and tried to get a refund. You tried to get a refund, being very nice.
And I was
about it.
trying
Oh,
to
so
appeal to
you were
her
good
sweet
cop
side.
and then you were bad cop.
Well, when the woman became very rude with me, Lise kind of came right up and had to go and protected me and got me my refund.
Did you pull a do you know who I am? Because I totally
You
would
know
have.
who I am,
Yes,
and
you
I've
did.
never done that before ever. I swear to you. I think that's so lame, but I had to do it.
You know what? It's okay. Can't
We
if
had
I
Channel
get
9
it.
following us around. I was like, look, if you don't give us our refund, I'm going to cause a fuss.
Yeah, just sniff her hand. Smells of cabbage. Trust me. Terrible. We have got the studio going on at the moment, and the wonderful Kelsey Rimmer, of course, who was on Australia's The Voice, has got a question for you. Please step forward to the microphone, Kelsey.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hi, babe.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions to ask you. I'm just going to steal a little bit of time here. The first question is, what advice would you have for kind of like a budding singer-songwriter that really wants to make it?
Great question.
I thought you were gonna go for it. Am I?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I guess the best advice would just be to, stay dedicated to your craft and your passion and really just follow your heart in that sense, because there's a lot of people that will try to tell you what the right thing to do is. You really just have to follow your intuition in that. And, if you're really dedicated towards just the success of your music, then the fame and the people everyone is going to want to make money off what you do. So if they're trying to push you in one direction that you don't feel is right, you really have to have a really strong integrity system in place.
Unless, of course, you are in fact One Direction and then lose all integrity
goes out
and
the
make that
window,
money.
yeah.
Well, you got to kind of decide which side you're sitting, which side of the fence you're sitting on here. And so, so I think it's just have a really strong integrity system for yourself, value system for yourself, and follow that. And then it's just, apart from that, it's just keep working, stay dedicated to and focused to what that is and what that means to you.
Keep creating, writing music. You write music?
I do.
Good girl. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the number one thing. There's so many artists out there that don't necessarily write their own music and things like that. And I think it's really important for people to be creating and doing it from the ground up in that sense.
Awesome. And I have one more really, really quick question. Do you have a support act for your next concert? Because I'm available if you need
We do
someone.
now.
Awesome. That's a great question. Of course, the new single is Lolita. We're excited about this here at the radio station. We're plugging it a lot. We're really loving and looking forward to this new film clip coming out, because the screenshot I saw on Facebook today of somebody holding a shotgun.
Oh, yeah, it
What?
gets pretty crazy.
It's like Veronica's Call of Duty. We are loving it. Nerds of the world unite.
B.A.
So what's the story with that?
We worked with an incredible director. His name is Spencer Sassa, who we are friends with him. He's an American, and he's a feature film writer and director. Indie feature film writer and director. And when we had to do this video, we talked to him about getting involved, and he's just such a visionary in that way. And, as soon as he heard Lolita, he fell in love with it. And, so we started kind of going through visually what we you know, what we felt and what we saw after hearing it. And, you know, it does touch on the concept of love and the violence of love and, you know, the fierceness. And it is set in a different reality, though. It's not set in this reality. Hence, Life on Mars is the name of the album. But yeah, it does get pretty badass.
Well, the song
kicks
itself
some ass in
is quite confronting, really, when you look at it. And is it based on the book?
I mean,
Loosely,
loosely.
yeah.
You know, when we were writing the record, we were reading a lot of books, watching a lot of films. But I mean, it really does symbolize sort of where we sit as women in this industry, being two young girls in a predominantly male-driven industry, being the music industry, and just sort of the play
And
and take on
relationships
that.
and love and all the things that we love to write about.
How's that for you guys? I mean, living your relationships in the public eye, is that a real problem?
Well, it's just it's all just part of the gig, really.
Yeah.
You just learn to deal with it, and, you know, people are interested and they can ask, but, you know, I think it is important to sort of hold a lot of it for yourself as much as you can.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us in the studio today. We really appreciate you being here, and thank you. Come on, everyone. Big round of applause for the Barnacles.